He is one of the greatest actors of his generation.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
They are 3 of 5 women who say Dustin Hoffman behaved in sexually inappropriate ways.
As hard as it is, I think that I wanted to choose truth over shame.
Cori Thomas was 16 in 1980, a friend of one of Hoffman's daughters, when the 3 spent a day together in New York.
And it was probably one of the greatest days of my life because
until she says she was left alone with Hoffman to wait for her parents.
And he came out of the bathroom, after a few moments with a towel around him and literally dropped the towel. And I just froze. I'd never seen a man naked in my life at this point. I was kind of an awkward young girl. I'd never kissed anyone.
She says he got on the bed and asked her to give him a foot massage.
He was being suggestive. He kept saying, I'm naked.
Anna Hunter was 17 in 1985, an intern on the set of Death of a Salesman, where she says Hoffman grabbed her bottom, persuaded her to give him foot rubs, and humiliated her. One morning, she says, he gave her a sexually vulgar and offensive breakfast order.
And he just stared at me, and everyone burst out laughing. And I backed out, went to the bathroom and cried.
Kathryn Rossetter credits Dustin Hoffman with giving her the chance to star in Death of a Salesman.
People go, how is it to work with Dustin? And I tell the half-truth, which is, as an actor working with him, I owe him everything. I learned so much. And then I would stop. And there would always be a knot in my stomach about what the real truth was, which is he was abusive and he was a bully. And
she says he repeatedly assaulted her backstage during the live Broadway show.
I felt his hand go up my thigh. And one day he actually tried to penetrate me with his fingers, and I was like, I was told to suck it up. He was the most famous actor in the world. It was the top of his career. I was a nobody. Nobody was going to believe me.
So to those who feel sorry for Dustin Hoffman in the wake of your coming forward,
I don't think they should feel sorry for him. He's fine. We have a culture of celebrity, and just because you're good at sports or music or acting doesn't mean that you're a completely integrated, fabulous human being. Your humanity is different than your work. That might be part of his tragedy. He brings so much humanity to his work, and he hasn't quite gotten it completely in his life.
no comment tonight from Mr. Hoffman's representatives, but Mr. Hoffman himself apologized after Anna Hunter came forward in November, saying he feels, quote, terrible that anything I might have done put her in an uncomfortable situation. It is not reflective of who I am. His lawyer previously called Cori Thomas's allegations defamatory falsehoods.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.